If you want to know the LLC business loan hacks that always work, here are the steps you really need to have a clear idea about. Number one, you always need to determine why you need a business loan. Boss, let's go back to the origins. 101. Why do you need that loan? See, the whole thing here is that if you have an LLC and you are trying to get a loan, the largest loan that you can afford, it's important to have a clear idea of why you need the business loan. The first question is, why do I need this? How much do I need? Okay, it's important. And why do I need the money for? So some small business owners need working capital to cover a range of purposes, and others have a very specific need, like a certain piece of equipment. So the reason you need the money will drive your choice of lender and loan type. So you want to make sure that you take some time to figure out why you need capital. So son, daughter, I'm talking to you right now. I want to have a clear conversation with you about why you need the business loan in the first place for your LLC. That being said, you also want to remember that sometimes the lines between these loan purposes might blur a little. For instance, you might need capital to purchase equipment for the startup business that you are getting off the ground, or you might want to refinance existing debts, but also borrow additional funds for working capital. So the thing here is that many lenders will work with borrowers who need business loans for multiple reasons. The thing here is that business lenders do understand that it's not a clear thing. It's not a straight line. Things can be complex. But my thing for you is that before you actually get the loan, make sure you can articulate why you need the business loan. You need to be clear in your mind to be able to articulate to a prospective lender why you need the money. Okay. So with this in mind, here are some common reasons why you might need to get an LLC business loan right now. So starting a business, for example, so you can get a loan to start a business, to buy a business. You can get a loan. You can get an LLC loan for day-to-day working capital. By the way, when we speak about working capital, we're speaking about short-term assets minus short-term liabilities. So that's money that you need for day-to-day operations. Okay. You can actually get a loan for your LLC to cover cash flow gaps, to grow your business, for emergency spending, to finance an equipment purchase. Let's say you want to buy a piece of machinery, to refinance debt. So there is a long constellation of reasons why you might need a business loan. So that's number one. Hack number two, you need to calculate how much debt you can afford. By the way, welcome back to the channel. Really appreciate having you here. We love you. And we are talking about LLC business loan hacks that always work. So when we talk about calculating how much debt you can afford, grandpa, grandma, mom, dad, I'm speaking to you, uncle, aunt, I'm speaking to all of you. If you are trying to get a business loan for your LLC, it's important to have a clear idea how much you can afford. See, the whole thing here is that you want a business loan for your LLC. Okay, how about I give you $1 million, I give you 10 million, I give you 1 billion. The question is, how much debt can you afford? And when we talk about how much debt you can afford, we have a compilation of things that come into play. So we're speaking about not only your cash inflows right now, how much money you are deriving from your activities right now. So the available cash that you have on average every month. Okay. In addition to that, you have your extra obligations. In other words, what are the additional debts you currently have? So the conversation here is pretty simple. We're having a conversation about DTI, which is really important. There is another criterion, DSCR. So you have DTI, debt to income ratio, but you also have DSCR, which is your debt service coverage ratio. Those two criteria are quintessential, boss, quintessential. So the thing is that I don't have enough time to go into detail here when it comes to DSCR and DTI, but DTI is pretty known. A lot of folks know DTI because it's kind of similar when we analyze our credit cards and other debts, but DSCR is more complex. Now, DSCR is a number, it's basically a number that small business lenders use to see whether or not you can afford to pay back a loan. So to calculate your DSCR, you can take your average monthly net income and divide that by your monthly loan payments. Ideally, you want to get a number above 1, which means you have enough cash flow, you have enough cash on hand to cover your loan payments and have some left over for other expenses. This is what we call in our own company, what we call when we talk to business clients, we are talking about, do you have the monetary bandwidth to take on additional loan? So this is important to have a clear idea of what we're talking about. So step number one, hack number one, you need to determine clearly why you need a business loan for your LLC. Step number two, or hack number two, you want to calculate how much debt you can afford and have a clear idea about that. And when we talk about, you can even use a business loan calculator to have a clear idea about what kind of extra cash you can afford to input in your business budget when it comes to repaying the business loan that you're about to get. Hack number three, and this is really important here. So we are trying to get a big business loan for our LLC. By the way, I just want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are speaking about LLC business loan hacks that always work. Hack number three, you want to determine what type of funding you need. Boss, this is so important, son. It's so important. See, the whole thing here is that you want cash, okay? You want cash for your LLC, okay? But what kind of funding do you need? See, when we talk about a constellation of business funding programs, you have everything from business term loans to business lines of credit. You have invoice factoring arrangements. You have merchant cash advances. You have you have long-term loans. You have a constellation of funding programs. So you have to be really careful about what you're looking for, okay? And the reason is that what you're looking for, the type of loan you are going after, will have a specific set of requirements that you will need in the end, that you will need to meet in the end, so that the lender can look at your application favorably. That's what we want anyway, right? You want the lender to look at your application, to your business loan application conducively, favorably, positively. So whether you're looking for funding to buy commercial real estate or simply need working capital to, let's say, to tide your business over in a seasonal lull, there are many types of business loans available. So do you want the funds upfront or on a revolving basis? Because the thing here is that if you are looking for funds upfront for your LLC, guess what? You are going for LLC business term loans. If you're looking for funds on a revolving basis, then you're looking for LLC business line of credit. So this is really important. See, this is the dichotomy I was talking about earlier, that you really have a clear idea of what kind of loans that you are looking for. And you need to also have a clear idea of how much you need to borrow. I spoke about that later on. It's all about making sure that you can afford the debt payments. See, because it's not just about how much you can borrow, it's how much you can afford to repay. And how soon do you need the money? Talking about emergency, talking about timing. Can you wait 1 week? Can you wait 2 weeks? Can you wait 2 days? Can you wait 1 day? It's all about, again, the celerity, the speed with which you want to get the funds. Some lenders are really fast, some are not. When we talk about banks, regular banks, traditional banks, I'm talking about the Chase of the world, the Bank of Americas of the world, the PNC, the Wells Fargo. They're very slow. They are very slow. But when you talk about more nimble, more agile lenders such as Bluevine, such as OnDeck, those online lenders, they are faster. So it's really important to have a clear idea of what you are looking for, boss. Hack number 4. Again, we are speaking about LLC business loan hacks that always work, boss. You need to identify what you qualify for. So you have an LLC. Talk to me about your LLC. So are you growing? Are you lethargic? Are you an LLC startup? Where do you find yourself on the spectrum of the growth spectrum of your business? Let's have a conversation about that. See, the thing here is that you need to identify what you qualify for, and you want to do. You have to actually make sure that your profile, your LLC business profile, aligns superbly with the kind of criteria the lender is looking for. See, if you are able to establish that alignment, then this is really good. So your personal credit score plays an important role. Okay, because again, the whole thing is, you can apply with using EIN only. And that way, basically, you're telling the lender not to look at your credit score, but to look at your business credit score. But not a lot of entrepreneurs are able to actually pull that off. So basically, think about your credit score. What is the lender's criterion regarding your credit score? And another ancillary question is, can a lender actually approve you with bad credit? Okay, so if you are if you are an LLC right now and you are the owner and you have bad credit, can you survive? You got to think about. So when we think about criteria, you got to think about credit score, collateral. Can you pledge collateral to get the business loan for your LLC, or are you looking for an unsecured business loan for your LLC? What about capacity? What is a comfortable repayment threshold for you? Okay, what about time in business? The thing is, some lenders want you to be in business for 2 years, 3 years, 18 months, 12 months, 6 months. Some lenders are amenable to startups. So depending on where you find yourself on the spectrum of operational growth, you got to ask yourself whether or not you qualify in terms of operational history. Okay, what about annual revenue? Some lenders want to make sure that you qualify for the revenue threshold they're looking for. Some might ask you to have at least 10 grand a month, while others will want you to hit at least $250,000 every year. So the whole thing is what? You need to identify what you qualify for. That way you're not wasting time, you're not wasting your time applying for something you will never qualify for in the first place. Hack number 5. Boss, I just want to quickly remind you today's topic. We are talking about LLC business loans hacks that always work, have always worked. And we're speaking about on the shoulders of our team members who have more than 30 years providing business credit, business funding kind of services to clients, okay, in various industries. And so hack number 5, you want to gather the required documents. See, the whole thing is you have done research, right? You have done research, you determine why you need the loan in the first place. You calculated how much debt you can afford. You determine what type of funding you needed. You identify what you could qualify for. Now, it's important to actually put everything together, okay? So before you apply for an LLC business loan, your lender will likely request certain documents. Although specific requirements may vary by lender, some commonly required documents are a business plan, your personal and business tax returns, and a balance sheet. Now, balance sheet, a lot of lenders nowadays, they would just want to have a full set of financial statements. So we are speaking about not only a balance sheet, but also an income statement, but also a statement of cash flows and a statement of owner's equity. So if we were to dig a little deeper into the financial statements, for example, for the balance sheet, the lender will want to pay attention to your assets and liabilities and your owner's equity. In terms of your income statement, the lenders will pay attention to your overall revenue and your expenses and also your net income. In terms of your statement of cash flows, the lenders will pay attention to your cash flows from operating activities, cash flows from investing activities, and cash flows from financing activities to determine your net cash flow at the end of the year. When it comes to your owner's equity statements, your lender will pay attention to things like additional paid-in capital, initial stock, and also the retained earnings. So those are components that lenders pay attention to. For business plan, they want to make sure that you have an updated, compelling business plan. In terms of your business tax return, they will want to see not only your personal 1040 for the last 3 years, but they also want to pay attention to your 1065, your Form 1065, or your Form 1120S or 1120, depending on the legal structure that you have for your taxes. So this is really important. So by having these documents at the ready, you will help to speed the process along, okay? And that's what you want anyway. You want your cash, you want to receive your cash real quick. Hack number 6, boss. Here we have to talk about comparison shop. See, the whole thing here is that if you are looking for an LLC business loan and you want a business loan that actually suits your particular LLC, it's important to comparison shop. There are a lot of options for business loans for LLC. So comparison shopping is one of the best methods to reduce your cost. And by cost, I'm talking about not only maturity. I'm talking about the interest rate you might get. I'm talking about some lenders will charge you administrative fees. Some will charge you some paperwork fees and whatnot. Some will charge you some prepayment fees. So you have a large catalog of fees, and you want to make sure that you choose the best product that is there for you. So when you look online at what lenders are offering, you want to shop around for the best fees, interest rates, and repayment terms available to you before you apply. And this is really important. And so we have covered on this show here hundreds of videos that we have covered we have covered over hundreds of videos, everything about the best LLC business loans for you. If you need help, just let us know in the comment section, and we'll just send you the link that you need to actually learn more about the subject. Okay, and what's important here is that you have to remember that each lender carries its own terms. As a result, some lenders might be better for you than others. Plus, as you apply, be sure to note whether the lenders make a soft or hard credit inquiry, because soft inquiries generally will not harm your credit score when you apply, but a stream of hard inquiries can. So it's really important, again, to constantly and reflexively and automatically go for those lenders who would only do a soft pull. Okay, a soft pull, so you can see if you pre-qualify. You enter you enter preliminary data and see what you might qualify for. Now, having said it, there is no strong correlation between your pre-approval amounts and your final amounts, if any. What I'm trying to say here is that there is no guarantee that because you got pre-qualified for a business loan for your LLC, you might actually get a final loan at the end. No. Things could be totally different. Okay, it's a soft pull just means that you might have met certain criteria, some basic criteria that the lender is looking for in terms of their business loan. So comparison shop is really important, and please do not skip that step. It's very, very important if you want to improve your odds of getting your LLC business loan approved. Hack number 7, and that's the last one here. You want to apply and review offers. See, after you have decided what types of funding you are looking for, know what payments you can afford, gather the required documents, and compare rates and terms. Submitting your application is the final step, and you have to do it anyway. Okay, applying for online business loans is often quick and automated. You may receive immediate approval if you meet the requirements. On the other hand, if you are applying with a traditional bank or credit union, you may need to visit a physical branch to apply, and so this is really important. And one thing I want to say here is that it really depends on what really works for you. And obviously, for some specific cases, we advise LLCs, we advise our LLC clients to apply actually with online lenders. In some cases, we just say, listen, it's just a lot better to apply at your brick and mortar branch. They know you already. They've seen you for the last few years. They know that you have a steady flow of cash and that you are pretty good. So they are more willing to look at your application real fast. Okay, so really important. Now, what we love about the whole soft pull process is that when you go through soft pull, let's say you get pre-qualified for several LLC business loans, you have choice. That's what we love. We have choice. So when you receive an offer, take a second to breathe, then step back to review it. If you get multiple offers, you've got the higher ground and can choose the best one for you. And in terms of analyzing multiple offers, you want to look at total cost. Don't just look at the interest rates. Take fees into account. This is important. You got to look at the amount and term. So does the loan offer as much as you want for as long as you need? And also the repayment. How quickly do you need to start repaying the loan, and are the payments manageable? And this is what I said when I started the conversation, that you need to make sure that you calculate how much debt you can afford. Are the payments manageable, or are they going to have a deleterious effect on your budget? So this is really important. And one thing I want to say also is that you have to constantly make sure that you want to start with the bank where you have a relationship. You want to start where they already know you. You want to go to the same branch where you open your account in the first place. And this is why when we talk about business credit in general, or personal credit for that matter, we are saying that, hey, listen, you want to cultivate relationships with your local branch or with your local banker. You never know. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about LLC business loan hacks that always work. Number 1, you want to determine why you need a business loan. Number 2, you want to calculate how much debt you can afford. Number 3, you want to determine what type of funding you need. Number 4, you want to identify what you qualify for. Next, you want to gather the required documents. Number 6, you want to comparison shop. Number 7, you want to apply and review offers. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.